What's going on, everyone? AP over here at Rumpier Sports, bringing to you the Strokes Gain show here with my two guys. We got to end in style, guys. Actually, not in. We got the playoffs and everything. And then with PGA, it's a very short off season. So we'll be right back to it. Swing season. We'll probably go to one show, but let me bring in my two guys. We got Snyder. We got Hoop. Hoop, what is going on, my man?
Oh, not too much. It was a fun week last week. Rocket Mortgage got to go there on Friday, check out the round, followed some of the fellas. It was a lot of fun. It's really cool to be at these PGA events, and the golfers are most of them very interactive with kids. I had my kids with me. They got I don't know, probably 10 balls from different golfers. We were on actually I thought about you, Snyder. We were on the 18th fairway, and we were kind of in one of those raised up suite things. And Taylor Moore was right in front of us. He had hit it. I mean, he bombed one out there right down the fairway and hit it right in front of us. And my son, I was like, see if you can get a golf ball. I think it was the first one we got. He goes, after he hit, he's like, can I get a golf ball? And the caddy came over and tossed two balls up for my son and daughter. So now I'm going to have to start playing a little more Taylor Moore in honor of you. But I thought about you when I was there. But everyone's very cool. Matt Kuchar signed his glove at the end of the round. My daughter was there. He gave it to her. So we got a signed Matt Kuchar glove in the house. And then a picture with Tony Finau. He finished up his round on Friday. He's all by himself on the putting green, grinding out putts. No one else was there. And he came over and took a picture with the kids. So it was a lot of fun. Friday PGA event. I mean, they do a phenomenal job with everything. Like I said, very interactive and family friendly. In terms of DFS, it was nice to see Tony get that win. I didn't have him, but after he was nice and took pictures with the kids, kind of had to root for him all the way in, even though I did fade him. So yeah, like AP said here, we a few more weeks here, got the playoffs and things will slow down. We'll move to one show, but yeah, PGA doesn't stop. The Live Tour stuff is going to be interesting to see what happens with that. So be a nice little run here through the playoffs. Looking forward to it. And AP, congratulations on the win last week as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, it's always good to have a little shipper. One thing we talk about all the time, I have my strategy. I just do it each and every week. I gobble up all the single entry stuff. So the $100, the $200, and it's a nice save. Like if you're like a medium size, player on a week to week basis, max the $5, gobble up all the single entries, and you're in for about 15 to $1,700, and your downside I think is pretty low as long as you're building correctly and following the content. So a really good strategy, kind of starting off, or for your average size player there on a week to week basis. But it was Taylor Moore who really got it done for me, and Snyder. Props to you, man. You got us all on Taylor Moore. This dude is finding this game right now. He's good. We were making fun of you not too long ago. We've done this with so many guys, Snyder. We're always like, we listen, we'll make fun, and then these guys they come around and they prove us wrong. And so obviously many sharp takes from Snyder. But Snyder, before we bring you in, all right. So I'm gonna kick it back over to Hoopster, but we're mapping out NFL right now. We got new content that we're working on. We got people that maybe team editions, a lot that we're working on behind the scenes, and we're gonna run a promo through the entire month of August. And I'm telling you, I know we've ran a lot of promos in the past, but I'm telling you, the pricing is not going to get any cheaper, just because we're all about getting the best team here. We want the best people because we feel that's going to help, all of our members perform that much better. And that costs money. So, but we are running an awesome promo. Hoop, talk to us a little bit about the promo we're running all the way up until NFL.
Yeah, so launched a new promo today. The promo code's NFL15, and we've done this in the past before, and it gives people basically an opportunity to get in long-term at Rumpier Sports for a discounted rate. So if you sign up using the promo code NFL15 on a monthly package, and it does include SaberSim. Snyder has the nice SaberSim sweatshirt on, as you can see, so that we partner with SaberSim on this promo. So any monthly package, you can do just DFS. You can do DFS and bets. You can do DFS, bets, SaberSim, anything that has a monthly package tied to it. You can use this promo code and you get 15% off. Now, if you don't ever cancel, that 15% off will hit every single month. So you're grandfathered in at a very low rate. all sports, one price. We always talk about it, includes all content on our website. So it's definitely the best deal in the industry. The other sites kind of charge you per sport. We charge you just for access to our site, and it gets you everything on the website. And like AP said, we're always trying and looking to improve our product. Well, we've done that for NFL. We have a lot of new additions coming to the website in terms of content and personnel as well. So this is the cheapest you're going to get. Once football hits, prices could potentially increase a little bit. So right now is the time to get in. 15% off the current prices right now. It's as cheap as you're ever going to get access to runpuresports.com. So head on over, check it out, use that promo code NFL15, and let's continue to run Pure here through NFL season.
Yeah, we're also working on more ways to give back to our members. I don't want to give too much away, but there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming to you, if you're a member, and ways that we're going to give back. So just a little teaser there. I don't want to give too much away. We're still mapping it all out. Snyder, we got to bring you in, man. Talk to us, how was your week last week? And then just go right into Sedgefield. Give us a little, I know it's a birdie fest. I posted something in Discord earlier, all the last 6 years, the lowest scores over each round. And it's a 60, 59, 61, 62, 63. I mean, it's going to be an absolute birdie fest. But talk to us about Sedgefield.
Yeah, last week was a pretty solid week. My main team was pretty good. I had a really good 5 of 6. Mr. McCarthy kind of hurt my feelings. I had a pretty strong 5 of 6 on my main team, but it still did all right. But looking forward to this week. Dive into Sedgefield Country Club here. I mean, Sedgefield is going to be a shorter positional track here. It's going to measure 7,131 yards. This track has slightly larger than normal greens here, measuring at 6,000 square feet. On average, with the Bermuda greens, will be rolling fast, right around 12 on the stimp meter. 5 water hazards here will be in play on 6 holes this week. The Donald Ross design offers 2 par 5s. Both are reachable in 2 and have at least a 4% or greater eagle rate. So there's going to be a ton of scoring on these 2 par 5s this week. 8 of the 12 par 4s are going to play in that 400 to 450 yard range this week. 2 of the par 3s are going to play long this week. They're going to play at least 220 yards. I'll be favoring driving accuracy over distance this week, as the course plays very easy from the fairways. But once you get outside of the fairways here, this course actually plays as one of the top 10 toughest from outside the fairway. So definitely want my guys hitting the fairway here, and then they will definitely make some birdies here. I expect the majority of the iron shots to be coming in from 100 to 175 yard that distance there. We should see another birdie fest here. 5 of the last 6 winners have shot at least 20 under par here. Some of the key stats I'll be looking at this week: strokes gained approach, fairways gained, birdies or better percentage, par 4 scoring from 400 to 450 yards, and a strokes gained putting.
Yeah, very good. Just to add on to that, so I've been posting kind of like I call it just like a random model breakdown in Discord. So you got to be a Run Pure Sports member to go and look at that. But it's not actually that random. What I actually do is I go back and I look at each event. So this event obviously being the Wyndham Championship, and I look at about 5 to 7 years of data. I look at what consistently do we see popping as far as stats go. I know I'm kind of more of a stats guy, kind of hybrid watch and then also stats. But one thing that was really interesting about Sedgefield is it's an easy track with lots of birdie opportunity, but you have to hit fairways, just like you said, Snyder. So good drives, finding fairways is something I'm weighting very heavily this week. But you need the combination of approach play and putting. So if you can find that, you really unlock the key to what Sedgefield is. And that's been Webb Simpson over the last few years. Not this year, though. So it's going to be a really interesting, topic of discussion with Webb being 10.7K. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. How we do it each and every week, we go tier by tier, starting with the studs, 10K and up. Then we talk 9K, 8K, etc. Hoop, I'm going to start with you. 10K and up this week, Billy Ho, all the way up to Willie Z.
Yeah, it's, obviously a 10K range that doesn't look all that familiar. A lot of guys up here that typically aren't in this range, starting at the top with Willie Z. we talked about it last week with him. We like him when the fields are tough, when the courses are tough, and this is not, does not really fit that billing whatsoever. So at 10-9, I'll fade him. He finished 20th last week, but that was because he shot like a 65 round 4. He was never really in contention, never really got anything going at the Rocket Mortgage, fired that low round, and the results looked a little bit better than they should have. So going to fade him. And then the other guy that I'm definitely fading is Billy Horschel at 10-3. I'm just not paying 10-3 for Billy Horschel. I think the only guy that I think I'm playing for sure is Webb Simpson. The course history here is phenomenal. I know he's right around that 125, so he needs a decent finish here to get in. So I'll be on Webb, and then I'm still kind of deciding, Shane Lowry or Sung J M. Typically not a Sung J M guy, but looks like he might have found something there at the 3M. So kind of still deciding between Lowry and M, but I'll play some Webb Simpson this week for sure.
I guarantee I'm going to talk hoop into Billy Horschel because he checks so
I'm
many
open.
boxes. He checked so many boxes for me this week.
I'm open this week. I don't have strong conviction at all up here, so you can definitely talk me into some guys or off guys.
It's such a weird week because I don't like salary. Obviously, salary always matters, but when we get to these events where, we see random winners all the time, especially at this event, especially in Birdie Fest. So I don't put as significant, I don't weight as heavily like the Willie Z's and everything. Like I've seen a lot of golf people picking Willie Z as the best overall guy to win and stuff like that. But when's the last time he's ever performed at a Birdie Fest type of event? He hasn't actually been good. He's the best ball striker in the world, but not off the tee. He's actually struggled finding fairways relative to some of the other guys in this range. So I'm not convinced on Willie Z, but Billy Horschel, I'll get into it. But man, when this guy absolutely crushed on Bermuda this year, and it's a surface that he likes. So Snyder, let me kick it over to you first though. 10K and up range, what are we doing?
Yeah, I really don't have much conviction of anyone up here in this 10K range. I might even fade this whole range either. It's definitely something that's going through my head. I think some of the guys priced down below them are just as good as these guys and have pretty much the same, top 10, top 5 equity. But Will Zalatoris is at the top of the board. I don't think I'm going to get to him. He did play a little bit better each round last week, but I just don't think I can play him at 10-9 and in a Birdie Fest as well, like you said. I'd rather play him on a tougher track in a bigger name field. I'll be looking to Willie Z quite a bit, I think, in the playoffs, but not this week. Webb Simpson's definitely interesting. I thought I was going to see Webb being hugely chalky, one of the most popular plays this week. Looking at the ownership, I don't even know if he's going to be 10% owned. It looks like he doesn't have the best form coming in, but he absolutely loves this course. So Webb would be the guy I would look to for sure here. Shane Lowry has decent history here. He's only got one top 10 finish in his last 4 trips here. 23rd miscut and a 42nd in his last 3 trips. I think I'll probably be off of Lowry as well. I think he's going to be right around 20% owned, so I'll probably be off of him. Sung J M, somehow he's getting all the ownership, it looks like, early. I'm seeing Sung J at 25%, and I think he's priced too high for me at 10.5, so that's an easy fade for me. Billy Horschel is an interesting guy right down there, though. It's another course horse here. He's got 4 finishes of 11th or better in 8 trips here. He was second in 2020. I feel like he would probably be the guy I would kind of lean to here in this 10K range if I play anyone, but I'm not sure I'm going to get to any of these guys, but probably it would be Webb or Horschel if I played any of these guys.
The one thing, though, if you think back to the last 2 events, is we continue to see. So two events ago, it's Tony Finau, Sung J M. Both were the highest priced guys, jamming both of them in with values that popped here was the key to success. Last week, kind of the same, the same build route, held true as well. So it's curious here, is it going to be Webb? Webb is always 25, 30% owned here. DraftKings, knowing that, they priced him very, very high. I think my prediction is I think ownership projections are going to be under on him. It's a price thing, but I think ownership is going to creep back up throughout the week. I think people are going to look at what Webb's done here. Only 1 missed cut, won it a long time ago, and then has a ton of top tens. So I think that's going to push his ownership up. I think we're going to see what we see every week. All of these guys are going to get some ownership. They're all going to be around 15 to 20% owned. Maybe Sung Jae In being the highest owned. I agree with you there, Snyder, 25% plus. Billy Horschel, I think maybe goes a little bit underlooked, but I still have it. I have him personally around 15 to 16%. I've been trying to get a little bit better at ownership projections, something I'm not good at all. But I'm working on it. I kind of put some random guesses out there and then see how it all works out. I have Sung Jae at 26% right now, so kind of in line with what you're thinking, Snyder. Man, for me, Webb is pure ownership. If he's going to be 8 to 10%, give me all the Webb. It's a course history thing. If he's going to be 30%, 25, 30%, no, I'm going to fade him all day. The form is just terrible, and it's his putter. There's something wrong with his putting stroke right now. I don't know if you guys are watching him, but like the ball strike off the tee was fine. His approach was pretty bad. A lot of bad bounces, but still was bad. But the putter was really bad too. So that's huge concerns all around for Webb Simpson coming into this event. So keep an eye on ownership. Keep an eye on what the industry is doing out there and where ownership is projecting and moving. It's a pure ownership play for me. Sung Jae and Billy Horschel are the two guys I like. Willie Z and Shane Lowry are the two guys I'm leaning on fading up at this range. Billy Horschel, he checks every single box of mine. When you get him on Bermuda, he looks even better. He's awesome on par fours. He ranks third in the field at finding fairways. This guy he finds fairways. He hits good iron shots, and he makes putts on Bermuda this year. So I absolutely love Billy Horschel. And then Sung Jae Im. It's Sung Jae Im. This is a course he should absolutely be able to eat up. He's a guy that finds fairways. He finds greens, and his putter's okay. He looked good at the 3M too. So I think, week rest there. I think Sung Jae Im should come in looking really good. So those are my top two plays in this range. Snyder, full fade of this range, or do you have a top play?
I'm leaning towards full fading this range, actually.
All right. I mean, normally I would push back on you, Snyder. I would, but this AK range for me, I absolutely love it. I think we'll get to it obviously, but I think you could make a full balance build this week and be pretty happy with that. But Hoop, your top 1 and 2 or just one, and then take us down to the 9K range.
Yeah, it's going to be Webb. I'm going to look into Horschel a little bit more. I could potentially join you AP with some Horschel. 9K range, it's small. There's only 5 golfers here. At the top you have Henley at 9.8, played well last week. Of course, that should fit him very, very solidly this week. So I'm going to be in on him. I'm always in on Corey Connors at 9.6, and then, fades for me. I'm not playing Hatton. I'm not playing Scott, and I'm not playing Varner. So it's just the two guys up top for me. 9.8 on Henley, 9.6 on Connors, fading those other three. To me, it's a very cut and dried range. Like that's just what I'm doing here.
Yeah, very good. I mean, it is very, very short range. Shouldn't take us too long. I'm kind of with you. Snyder, 9K range, what are you doing?
Yeah, I definitely like Russell Henley this week. Comes off that top 10 last week. Gained 11 strokes to the green last week. 5 of those were coming with the irons. He did lose over 2 strokes putting, so I think Henley could have been right there in contention if he had the putter working a little better last week. Back-to-back top 10 finishes at this event. I feel like Henley is just as good as any of those 10K guys, so I'm going to be on Henley this week. I think Henley and Connors are both going to be kind of right around that 20% ownership range, so I'm only going to play one of them. So I'm going to go Henley over Connors. Connors hasn't been that great recently. Comes off of 28th, a 61st, and a missed cut in his last 3 events. So I feel more comfortable going Henley over Connors there. Hatton, as Big T would say, he's too short and too fat. Makes him an easy fade. So I will be off of Mr. Hatton. Adam Scott is definitely interesting, I think, for tournaments. He played great tee to green last week, but that 78 he shot on Saturday really killed him. He did fire a 65 on Sunday, though, to battle right back. So I definitely think Adam Scott's interesting for tournaments. I think he'll probably be 10% or lower. So I definitely like adding some Adam Scott into my player pool. I'll be off HV3 as well. So it's pretty much just Henley and Scott for me in this range.
Yeah, Henley again, kind of sound like a broken record here, but man, he checks every single box that I'm looking at. Course history, strokes gained, 24.6 strokes every time he's teed it up here over the last 5 years. Form's decent, especially ball striking, and Bermuda putting has been just a little bit over average, which I'm fine with. Henley's not known as like a good putter, so I'm fine with that. Hatton, yeah, kind of with you guys. I just got like it you got to make cuts, and I'm with Big T here. Short, fat, grumpy. I can get behind that. Adam Scott's the tilting one. It's like, man, he profiles as a good tournament play for me, but I don't like Adam Scott. Like, I'm not an Adam Scott guy, so I'll probably end up fading him. But man, I wouldn't. I'm to the point now where I wouldn't like talk someone off of playing him. And Corey Connors feels a little overpriced for me. Even though he checks a lot of boxes, it's just I can't play. See, if I want to play him and Billy Ho, I got to make some cuts in this range because I absolutely love the AK range. So for me, it's Henley, and then I'm probably making a bunch of cuts, and we'll keep it as simple as that. Snyder, just Henley for you?
I'm going to go Henley 1 and then Scott for GPPs as a slight 2. Yeah.
I might include him in my 150 because I don't like, I have him at 12% projected ownership. I don't know.
I think he'll be right around that. Yeah.
Okay. That was just my random guess. So Hoop, your top play in this range, and let's keep it going. 8K range.
Yeah, I think it's Henley. I agree with everything. Like, I think he's better than I like him better than all those guys in the 10K range. So yeah, definitely Henley. 8K range is where it gets fun though. 8K, 7K range. It's a lot of our guys here. Denny McCarthy, I like the flop leg, very highly owned last week. Missed the cut. But when he's made the cut, look at his last 3 made cuts: Memorial 5th, US Open 7th, John Deere 6th. When he makes the cut, he's in contention. I really like going back to him this week. Tom Kim, I'm just going to keep playing Tom Kim. I think he's just much, much better than a lot of people in this range. He's made 5 straight cuts, nothing worse than 47th, had the 7th place last week, a big final round. Just going to keep playing the guy. Pendreth, same thing, going to continue to play him. Kind of fell apart a little bit there on Sunday, but hey, if he gets a top 10 this week, we'll take it and move on. Harmon at 8-3, haven't seen him since the Open where he finished 6th. Go right back to Harmon at 8-3. JT Poston, I believe, has good course history here. In on him. Aaron Wise at 8.1K. I like him. And then Davis Riley. I faded Riley last week. It worked out well. I missed the cut. I'm going right back to him. I think, he's going to break out of this little slump here at some point. Think it could be this week. The fact that I faded him last week makes me feel okay about coming in on him this week after missing that cut. So this range is a loaded one for me. I plan on getting overweight on all those guys I mentioned. And if that means I have to, avoid that 10K range, I'm willing to do it because I like these guys so much more.
I may have missed this. I believe I caught most of your stuff, but the defending champ, Kevin Kisner, I believe, did you comment on him?
I did not. I skipped over him. I know that was.
I want your opinion on him.
Well, I don't have one. That's why I skipped over him.
Okay, perfect. That is very very fair.
Because it was a workbench. It was a workbench play. 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. Well, the Open Championship.
Yeah, so
I faded him last week, though. I faded him last weweek. This course sets up obviously way better for him. I was on Bombers last week. I'm not on Bombers this week. I'm fading a lot of Bombers at Sedgefield, which has been a Prim Fest, many, many years back. So Snyder, 8K range. I'm with Hoop on this, man. This is like Tom Kim. I honestly want to put an outright. I think he could win here. I really, really think he's a guy that could win here this week with his skill set, seeing him play. But what are you doing with this 8K range?
Yeah, I absolutely love this 8K range. That's kind of why I'm fading the 10K range. I think a lot of these guys have just as much win equity. And when you look at the odds sheet, a lot of these guys in the 8K range, their win odds aren't that far off of the guy. Some of them even better than 9K range, but they're not that far off of the top tier guys either. So definitely have a lot of conviction on these guys in the 8K range. I don't mind starting my builds here either. Play like 5 of them in a lineup if you want to. Denny Mccarthy, definitely going to go right back to him. Great flop leg spot for him last week. Three top sevens and 2 missed cuts in his last 5 events. So he's got that boom bust, but he's got really good course history here. 4 for 4 in cuts made, 15th, 9th, 22nd in his last 3 appearances. Like him, Siwoo Kim, I like quite a bit. Siwoo Kim actually low-key has better course history here than Webb Simpson does. A second, a third, a fifth, a miscut, and a first in his last 5 trips here. So that's 4 top 5s in his last 5 trips here. He's off back-to-back top 15s as well. So I have a lot of conviction on Siwoo Kim this week. Kevin Kisner, I'm definitely going to be on him this week. I didn't really play him last week either, but he was good at the Travelers, 6 at the Travelers, was top 10 at the Open for a while, finished 21st there. He comes back here looking to defend his title here. He's got 4 of his last 5 trips here, been in the top 10 as well. So definitely have some conviction on Kevin Kisner this week. Taylor Pendreth, I'm going to go right back to him. He was in contention last week. I feel like the win is coming soon for Pendreth, so I'm definitely going to be right back on him this week. Gained over 6 strokes approach last week. JT Poston, he's ranking really well in the stat models as well. Elite golf in these weaker fields. Second at the Travelers, first at the John Deere, and then 11th at the 3M Open. He won this event back in 2019 as well. Did miss the cut here in his last 2 trips, but I feel like his game is much better right now, so I definitely like some Poston this week. Davis Riley, I think, is definitely interesting for tournaments. He's off. I think he'll come in lower owned this week off those back-to-back missed cuts, but he did show that big upside earlier in the year, so I think this is a great spot for him to bounce back, like Hoop had said. I do like your guy, Tom Kim, right there. Tom Kim actually has some of the better win odds in 9K range, even. He's 30-1 to win. McCarthy's 30-1 in this range. You got Kisner at 40-1, Pendreth at 40-1, Harmon at 40-1, Poston 45-1, Wise at 40-1. So there's a lot of value, I feel like, in this 8K range. So I like this range quite a bit.
Yeah, just starting with JT Poston, former winner here. When he won, I believe a couple years ago, man, he wasn't even that good of form. He showed some form in like a tournament, a couple weeks before the Wyndham Championship, and then he came out and won. He's in great form right now. A win at the John Deere, the Travelers at T2, missed the Open, but again, remember, we can forgive him for that. Like literally, take away the Open Championship, take away that missed cut. T2 first, T11 at the 3M. He was, he took the red eye out to out there to the UK after the John Deere, after winning that, to play in the Open. So we can forgive him for that missed cut. This guy is hitting fairways. He's been awesome tee to green. The putter's hot, and he ranks 2nd in par 4 scoring, which is huge out here at Sedgefield. So I love Poston. Tom Kim, phenomenal play. Kevin Kisner, man, another guy. Like, I'm with you guys. Like, you could justify fading him, Billy Horschel, all those guys, because these guys have almost the same odds to win. Like seriously, if you just, I know the odds aren't exactly the same. You guys get what I'm saying. We could all see them winning. I mean, Kevin Kisner won last year, and Siwoo Kim, you're right, T2, T3, 5th, a missed cut, and then won it in 2016. Man, this range is absolutely loaded. Denny Mccarthy profiles very well. He's made 4 straight cuts here. Flop lag spot. I do think he's going to get ownership, though. So I think he's a guy that you just get overweight on. It's tough to find a fade down here. Like, even Aaron Wise has been so good this year, especially on easy scoring tracks. He actually grades out as one of the best. I do think this is a little bit different because he is big off the tee, and so part of his strength is going to be taken away here, but he's still a very good iron player. So for me, it's rare for me. My only fade is Davis Riley. So I'm kind of with you guys. You can make a case to play every other player in this range, I think. And even Christian Bizet now. He's a good iron player. I think he's a little sneaky too in tournaments. He's not a main, like I built 5 main lineups. He's not going to make any of those lineups. He's a 150 max play for me, but I'm going to get a little bit of him because I think he's the guy that I have him about 8%. And I have Siwoo Kim at 25% for my random ownership projections. And then I have everyone else, Everyone is going to want a little bit of a piece. So I think Snyder, an interesting thing to do this week, and I'm going to do this too, even though I like Sung J M, I like Billy Horschel. I'm going to run a few builds where I remove everyone in the 10K and up range. I'm going to remove some of those other 9K guys that I don't like, and then I'm going to see how over can I get on this 8K range. I think it's an interesting thing to look at because there's a lot of strong 7K play, 7K range plays as well this week. So I do have to say my favorite though, man, it is tough. I got to go Poston and I got to go Tom Kim, but it's really tough. You can make a case for a lot of almost all of these guys. So Snyder, you're 1 and 2 in this range.
I'm going to go with Denny McCarthy and Siwoo Kim right at the top of this range. And I think if you wanted to play like that $4.20 max, kind of a lower tier GPP, I think you could definitely remove the whole tier and just play a really small pool on that and try and hit the right combination there. I've done that in the past. Last year, I think I won it last year. I always take some big stands in that contest, kind of play it as just one tournament, but just try and have like a 15 to 20 player pool or whatever, and just trying to hit the right combination.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Hoop, you're 1 and 2 in this range, and let's keep it going. 7K range.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kim and Pendreth, but man, I mean, I'm with you guys. I like all these guys so much in this range. Going to be very loaded up. But you come down here to the 7K range, and there's a lot to like as well down here. Starting at the top for me with Scott Stallings. Continues to play some very solid golf. I mean, 8th at the Travelers, 4th at the John Deere, 10th at the Rocket Mortgage. This is another weak field event. He's been crushing those. I'm going to be in on him. Sebastian Munoz at 7.7K. Been playing in some tougher fields. I mean, his last 3 events, US Open, the Scottish Open, and then the Open Championship. Now comes this event where it's a weaker field. I think he can do some damage here. Adam Long at 7.7K. Probably my favorite play in the field. I mean, I play this guy almost every single week. He's just been phenomenal. I think he could easily be in that 8K range with those other guys. 7.7 to me is an extreme value. Our boy Goddard just much like Tom Kim, I'm going to continue to play him. I mean, wasn't great, 49th last week, but he's solid. Svensson bounced back for us last week, a 24th after missing the cut at the 3M. But, outside of that cut at the 3M, he's made 5 out of 6 cuts, or actually 6 out of, even more than that, like 8 out of 9 cuts, a bunch of top 25s. I'm going right back to Svensson. Great price tag for him. Brendan Todd, I like quite a bit. My guy Calum Taran at 7.3K, top 20 last week, finished very, very strong. Had the not so great round on Saturday, but bounced back with the 66 on Sunday. Our guy Harris English, kind of talked about him a little bit last week. He fell short, and I mean, he was 2 under. I think the cut was 3 under. He's close, man. And I think he's a good golfer, so I'm going to be in on him. Like I said in the opening, I have to play Taylor Moore now because his caddy gave my kids some balls. So on Moore, Matthew Neesmith at 7.2K. Mr. Steven Yeager coming off the 5th place finish, in on him. My guy Lee Hodges kind of fell apart on the week. He shot a 77 on Saturday. I don't even know how that's possible at that course to shoot 77. That's incredible. But outside of that, he was great. Smotherman had a crappy weekend as well, but I'll be in on him. I mean, this range is just loaded. So, I mean, I think this is honestly a week where you can leave like a big chunk of salary on the table to be different. If you want to fade the 10K guys, and start even the low 8s, like you can get 6, I think, legitimate guys that can win, mid 8s and below. So I think it's a week where you can leave salary on the table to be different. There's just I think a lot of win equity with these guys in the 8K and 7K range. I'm going to have a ton of guys in those 2 ranges.
Yeah, I agree quite a bit. I mean, Taylor Moore. So one thing I did, I weighted guys that hit fairways, good drives, tee to green play, and par 4 scoring very heavily. And so when you just max those 3 things, Taylor Moore ranks 25th, so very high. He exceeds his price point at 7.3K on DraftKings. I feel very good about that play as well, so I'm going to be with you on him. Hoop. Snyder, 7K range. I mean, man, it seems like we're all kind of in line because I agree with Hoop quite a bit here. Loaded range. What are you doing with these guys?
Yeah, I absolutely love what Hoop had to say there. I completely agree. I'm pretty much in lockstep with him there. Some of the guys I like in this range, quite a few of them. Mark Hubbard, good flop leg spot there. Missed the cut last week. That was his first one in 7 events. Lost 1.6 strokes putting. He's made his last 3 cuts here, so I can go back to Hubbard. Adam Long, Hoops guy. Definitely going to go right back to him. He's finished inside the top 25 in his last 4 events. Gained 6.6 strokes approach in his last event at the 3M. I like him. Kevin Strillman finished 7th here last year. Enters with solid form. Chris Gotterup, I got to keep riding with my guy there. The price tag is getting up there a little bit, but I definitely love his upside for tournaments, so I'm going to go back to Gotterup. Alex Smalley missed cut last week, but was 10th and 16th in his two events before, and he gets a home game here, so I definitely will have some interest in Smalley. Svensson, great price tag for him. He's finished top 25 or better in 5 of his last 6 events. Love Svensson. I think CT Pan's a good GBP target, solid birdie upside. My guy Taylor Moore, I'm absolutely going right back to him. I don't think he's going to be like 0.3% owned this week, but that's all right. I've been big on Moore since he hit the tour last fall. He's kind of getting right back into that form we saw him have on the fall swing there too. He's gotten better in his last 4 events, going 56th, 24th, 21st, and then 6th last week. And the iron play has actually improved every event too. So he's getting that going. The putter's starting to roll pure, so I definitely like some Taylor Moore. Another one of Hoops guys that I've been on lately is Calum Taram, like you said. I mean, no reason to jump off him here. And for some reason, DK keeps his price tag way too low, I feel, for his upside. So definitely right there with Calum Taran. Lee Hodges, he was playing really good last week until he hit that 77 on Saturday. I feel like his strong value play again this week at only 7-1, though. Some other guys I'll be looking at is like Smotherman, Hardy, Mitchell, Whaley. There's some other guys. I mean, this range is so big. I'm pretty much right in line with Hoop so far. I'm sure AP are going to be right in line with us as well. So I think we can definitely target this range. Like just play a lot of 8K and 7K guys in some builds if you want.
Yeah, I am, except for Gotterup, man. So Gotterup is kind of the anti of what I'm looking at. Dude bombs, okay? He hits at a mile. The guy can't hit fairways. He ranks very, very bad on hitting fairways, like 107. So like Snyder at the start of the show, you all taught us, like, you got to hit fairways here. And the problem is like the putter went a little cold on him. I love this guy. I'm on him long term. I think he has massive upside. Man, when you look at Sedgefield and when you look at, like, you know, a short hitter like Brendan Todd, I would take him over Gotterup this week, even though he's going to be 100 yards behind him off the tee, just because it's a target course. It's a placement course, and you got to bring a hot putter. So I'm off the Bombers. Vegas, obviously, I think he withdrew. Gotterup, I'm off. Cam Champ, you let us down, Cam Champ. Like, you had your opportunity. You were good through 3 rounds, but 1 bad round wasn't enough. It was enough for me, but man, to win the big tournaments, needed to do a little bit more for us. It's not like he's lost. So he's played this a bunch of times. He's lost 11 strokes over his career here. Cam Champ has. So I just can't play the Bombers here. I'm going to be fully fading them. Adam Long, I love. Sebastian Munoz, solid play. Kevin Strillman, I even think he's in play. Adam Svensson, he fits the mold. Very good ball striker. Brendan Todd, good putter. Calum Taran, I'm with you guys. Ches Reavie, the stats are kind of mixed on him because they're not pulling in his win from the Barracuda. Which did you guys see that they raised the? I was joking about this, but they raised. They made all of those adjustments to the prize pools, and they raised the Barracuda by 100K. I thought that was kind of funny. Still less than what the winner of these live tours are going to get, which, I mean, if you at least make the pool bigger than what the winner of a live tour event gets, right? I mean, it's just insane. But Ches Reavie's interesting. JJ Spawn, interesting. Harris English, Hoop, you know, I was talking to you. Like, I think this is a course. He has experience here. He's gained 18 strokes over his career here on the field. If you catch him at the right time, I think Harris English is going to be 1% to 2% owned. So I think he's a very, very good tournament play here. Of course, he should be able to handle, good iron player, good putter, especially on Bermuda. So I like him. I mean, man, it's crazy because like Nick Hardy, I like Doug Gim. I like, there's a lot of plays I like in this range. I know we can't play everyone. We're going to need to make cuts. Tyler Duncan might be one of my favorite plays down in this range. 7.1K, great course history, very good on easy courses. And another thing about Tyler Duncan, he's good on shorter tracks too. Sedgefield is a short course. Tyler Duncan, not a bomber at all. He's an iron player. He's a placement player. Get off the tee, find the green, make some putts. That's his game. I think he's a good play here. And then Vincent Whaley, another good play. Also, D-Rock. That's D-Rock's boy. I mean, if you're in our Discord, D-Rock's going to be posting that little meme or GIF or whatever it is, the picture with the whale and the golfer. Absolutely. Shout out to D-Rock, too. The dude had $46 in play last week and won like 5K. Absolutely murdered the slate. The guy just absolutely smashed. We all love D-Rock. Just awesome win for him last week. So huge shout out to you, D-Rock. But man, we're, over here at Run Pure Sports, we like to make cuts. We can't play 70 golfers. And I might be with you guys. Like I got to relook at this top tier range, and I have to really look like 10-3 for Billy Horschel. I might be rethinking this because
I mean it's tough now. I mean, because I think we keep convincing each other on other guys as well. So we're adding guys in this 8K and 7K range. I'm telling you, it could be a week to say, screw those guys. I don't know.
I remember last year Sung Jae and so I think it was Sung Jae and Webb were like mega chalk. And if you just got different and faded them. And actually, I think Webb might have been on the winner. He's been on a lot of winners here. But if you fade, so he's T7. If you faded him and if you got other guys up in that range and had the winner, obviously, you would have been fine. But I think today is a little bit different with the form that Webb's in. So I think if there is a year where the way to get different is leave salary on the table, this seems like the year because these ranges are absolutely loaded. I'm going to say my favorite down here. It's tough. Tyler Duncan, I got to say, is one of them. I'm going to leave Taylor Moore for one of you guys, even though, man, he's Snyder, he's your boy, but he's becoming my boy here too. I'm going to be playing him heavily, but I'm going to go Tyler Duncan and we'll go Brendan Todd. I think Brendan Todd's very, very interesting this week. Snyder, you're 1 and 2 in the 7K range.
I'm going to go Taylor Moore 1 and I'm not sure which guy Hoop's going to take. I like
who I'm taking. If you looked at this list, you'd know exactly.
I know who you're taking. I don't want to take the same guy, so I'm going to go with Adam Svensson.
Nick Taylor.
He's coming up next. I just wrote him down.
I was too soon because he. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's long and turn.
This is a Nick Taylor week, but Hoop, Hoop, you're top 2 in the 7K range.
Yeah, I mean Adam Long. I think Adam Long can honestly be in the 8K range. Like 7-7 is just stealing, and then Svensson. I mean, I'm going to agree with you on Svensson. I love Svensson. They're playing really well outside.
I thought you were going to go with Taran there.
Yeah, shit.
The Canadians are relevant right now. Pendreth was. I mean, if you look at my Canadian ranking chart, Tambo, you're still up there if you're listening. Like we all love Tambo, but Pendreth. I mean, man, how good was that last week? I could see it being Svensson this week. I really could. So I love that play.
Well. He's playing well. Yeah. So I mean, again, another range that's completely loaded. Come down to the 6K range and. It's not as enjoyable, I guess you could say. Hayden Buckley, been playing him lately, 6.9K. Looks like 6 straight made cuts. a lot of decent finishes as well. So yeah, I like Buckley at 6'9", going right back to our guy Chesson. I mean, he was bad last week, and I got to tell the Chesson story because he's been our guy here, one of AP's favorites. I played with him last year in the Pro-Am, and we found him. And so it's my son's favorite golfer because we play with him at the Pro-Am. Super nice guy. So that's the first guy he wanted to go see was Chesson. So we tracked him down on like the 7th hole. He was almost done, 7th, 8th, 9th, and he's in a group with Rory Sabatini and someone else, and no one's following them. So he finished the 7th hole. He knew he was going to miss the cut too, so he could have just been like a dick and said, "Leave me alone." But he came over and signed a ball for my son and daughter. And I was like, yeah, I said, we played together last year and now you're my son's favorite golfer. And he goes, "Oh, that's awesome." And so we walked with him like the next 2 holes, and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm not playing well this week." He's like, it's kind of a bummer. He's like, "I was hoping to continue this nice run." But he's like, "Sorry, I'm not playing well." He's talking to my son about like baseball and stuff. He has a kid the exact same age as my son's. I mean, just a really nice guy, honestly. I mean, so easy to root for. Long story short, we're going back to him this week. We have to go back to him at 6'9". He's gonna treat us well this week. The course should set up very well for him. And I just love him as a golfer. Seems like a really good guy. Easy to root for. Nick Taylor, you guys know the story there. I'm always going to play my guy Nick. But man, maybe I won't play him actually for the first time ever. He has not been good.
It's been a little dusty.
Yeah, real dusty. It might be time to give Mr. Nick Taylor a little break here. He missed it on the number last week. Is he getting close? I don't know. Maybe I don't play Nick Taylor this week. Malnati, I will play at 6'8". Made the cut last week, and I think finished like dead fucking last, 73rd. Yeah, so you had to be never broke 70. Yeah, that is bad. Never broke 70 last week on the easiest course. Finished 73rd. Yeah, but I will play him this week. Of course, that's up pretty well for him. Come down. Roger Sloane, back-to-back made cuts. What's his price? He is 6'3", so full on punt for Mr. Sloane at 6'3". And then someone in the chat was asking about our guy, Mr. Werenski, and is he back? He's back into my lineups. 2 out of 3 made cuts, 44th at the Barracuda, 30th last week. Richie's back. He's going to start treating us well here. So I'm back on Richie, but so I got about 6 or 7 guys here as of now. Could add some along the way.
Yeah, Chesson Hadley checks a lot of boxes this week too. Yeah. If you're in Discord, so we talked him up on last week's show, but if you're in Discord, we completely moved off of him. Bad mojo, not getting hoop into the Pro-Am. We got off Hadley, missed the cut. But man, there's a lot of boxes he checks this week. I'm going to wait to talk about him. Snyder, let's bring you in. 6K range. Not as good as the 7K range, 8K range, obviously. I do think this is a week where if you end your build in the 7K range, I think you're fine. I really, really do. But if you're dabbling down here, who you want?
Yeah, I don't have too much conviction down here in this range. I think I'll be trying to end a lot of builds in that 7K range, but I do like your guy, Hayden Buckley down there. You were all over him last week. I mean, he printed for us, especially on that Showdown show as well. A top 25 finish last week, has made 6 straight cuts. So sign me up for some Hayden Buckley again this week. I definitely like him. I like Chesson to bounce back this week. That was his first missed cut in 6 events. He had been playing good golf, like he said. Has made the cut here in his last 4. Has made his last 4 cuts here. Finished 15th here last year, so I definitely like some Hadley. Lower is solid. 30th last week, 8th at the Barbasol. Solid upside, I think, for a tournament. So I think he's interesting. Some pump plays here. I think Roger Sloane's interesting. He's gained strokes approach in his last 3 events. The putter's kind of been heating up as well. Richie Warninski, a hoops guy down there, finished 3rd last week. Is gaining with the irons and the putter. Has made his last 4 cuts here with the top 10. So I think I could get to Warninski if I was looking to punt, but there's not too much I'm looking at. Maybe AP, you're really good with these value guys. Maybe you can sell me on some more guys down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tougher week. I do think Hadley's a good play. So Hadley sits at 121 on the FedEx bubble. And he should feel comfortable here. So if you remember last year, This is where he made his ace. It was his first ace on the PGA Tour in a competitive event. And he jumped up and looked like the dude is so skinny. I mean, how skinny is he?
It was the most awkward
is he
thing
like
of all
100?
time.
All right, so if I set the over under at 155, which I think is a good number, what would you say?
Yeah,
Under or over?
He's got to be about 6'5". He's got me by about 2
okay,
inches.
He's
tall.
He's 160. I would say 167 then.
He is. I mean, he's like a giraffe type. Like he's just like he is skinny. Yeah, he's probably 6'5". Yeah, probably man. $165, $170. He's a skinny fella.
But I mean,
he has really short irons too. I realized, like, he doesn't have like anything extended. I was watching him super close, like he's way down there, like he's like hunched over to hit those things.
I mean, all of these guys stripe it, but does he stripe it pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it all looks good to me because I freaking suck.
I mean, if you go to one of these events, they all just stripe it. It's like a different level, but but so when you look at Hadley just a little bit deeper, the putter's awesome. This course sets up much better for him, shorter track. A lot of things aligned. I think he rebounds. I think he knows where he's at. I think if he makes a cut here and if he has a strong finish, it's going to be plenty of points to secure him a spot inside the 125, which is something that he's going to be highly motivated to get. Outside of last week, he's in good form too. So I sign off on that play. Hayden Buckley, going right back to him. Dude looks good. The odds look good. Rory Sabatini is the guy that I think is really interesting down here. He made an ace last week. Then I think he missed the cut, right? But he has good history here. T10, missed cut, T6, T57, T4. Or no, he did make the cut last week.
He made the cut, just didn't really, ho-hum.
Didn't really do very much. But Rory Sabatini, he's an iron player. And obviously, get him on a shorter track. He's good at finding fairways. I think he's a really interesting play. Potential maybe workbench play. Who knows? There's probably not, because there's so many good plays in the 7K range that are going to be very low owned. Even in the 8K range, that could be somewhat lower owned, and I'd rather go there. But again, he's someone I'm going to be on. Down here, this is where I plan on like trimming up my player pool. I just, I think Nick Taylor's interesting, but I don't love him, and I'm trying to get my player pool down to a certain number, and it's going to be easier to make cuts in this 6K range than it is in the 7K and 8K range. And I might even have to make a cut or two in the 10K range to make it work, to get my player pool down to that level. So I'm going to leave it at, for me, Hayden Buckley, Rory Sabatini, Chesson Hadley. Those are going to be kind of my anchors down here in the 6K range. I'm going to leave it at that. Snyder, do you have a favorite play, 6K range?
Yeah, I'm going to go with your guy, Hayden Buckley down here. And then Chesson Hadley would be my 2.
Yeah, very good. Hoop, favorite play, 6K range.
I'm going to go, probably Buckley. Yeah, Buckley and Chesson, I think. I don't like a ton down here. Nick Taylor, I think I'm going to cross off. Malnati, I do like a little bit. And then my 2 real cheap guys, Sloane, Werenski. So, I'm going to be Buckley and Chesson as my 1-2.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We have a promo going on, NFL 15. It's going to get you 15% off for life. Includes Saber Sim package, and it's going to run all the way up until NFL starts. After that, we're looking at price increases and everything because we keep expanding. We got a big staff over here, and we want to bring on more people. We're going to bring on the best possible people. And, we need to make sure we're looking out for that. So, again, NFL 15, make sure you get in on that. Let's get to our winners, fellas. Snyder, if you're ready, let's start with you. How we do it. We give out 2. We give out the guy that we think is going to win, and then we give a longer shot.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go down the board a little bit, at least DraftKings pricing. I'm going to go down to the guy that missed the cut last week. I'm going to go right back to Denny McCarthy here at 30-1 odds to win. I think he gets it done this week, so I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to go down the board quite a bit. I'm going to go for a hoops guy, Calum Taram down there. He's 100-1 odds to win at DraftKings, but make sure you get it at DraftKings, though, because he's only 80-1 to win at FanDuel. So take the better odds at DraftKings and get the 100-1, and I think he'll be right there. He's had a few top 10 finishes here recently. I think this could be a spot where he breaks through.
Yeah, I like it very much. Hoop, who you got winning this week?
Yeah, the first one, I'm going to go more long shot style this week. It's going to be my guy Adam Long at 60-1. I think he has a legitimate chance to win this week, so I like that play. And then more of a long shot is going to be our guy Harris English, 130-1. Like, can he get it all together? We'll see.
Yeah, that's a good bet.
If he's back to 90%, he has a chance to win this week. So Long and English.
That's another guy where English is 90-1 on FanDuel, so make sure to get that on DraftKings.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good bet right there. I'm gonna go with JT Poston, 45-1. I think is a really good bet. And then I'm gonna go Tyler Duncan, 150-1. I think he checks all the boxes of like guys that we can see winning here. He just hasn't broken through yet. I could see it. I could see him doing it here at Sedgefield. So Tyler Duncan and JT Poston for me. But again, that whole range is loaded. I like that we're all aligned on that. So Snyder, final thoughts.
Yeah, I think even though we've talked about playing a lot of these guys just starting builds even in the 8K and 7K, I think the ownership for the most part is going to be pretty spread out with a lot of those guys that are going to be people are going to want to play in that 8K and 7K range. So I think it's going to be still pretty easy for us to get overweight on our guys. So definitely like going that pathway. We're going to have the showdown content like usual on Thursday and Friday as well with the premium show on Saturday. The playbooks will be up on site for showdown and the main slate. So looking forward to this week. Hopefully we can keep the good momentum going forward.
Yeah, very good. Hoop, final thoughts this week.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good week here. I mean, I think there's really some game strategy, some game theory to dive into this week. I mean, for me personally, because of how much I like that 8K, 7K range, I think you can do some very interesting things. So we like fields like this. I think we laid it out nicely. We got the premium show tomorrow, I would believe tomorrow afternoon. So make sure to tune into that. If you're not a member, you can become a member. NFL 15% off for life as long as you don't cancel. The cheapest all-in price that you're going to get here as a member at Run Pure Sports. So come on over, check it out. We'll roll this August and then go right into NFL season.
Yeah, and keep in mind we're like 2 months out from like NBA stuff rolling around. Yep. So sign right up. There. You're benefiting big time by doing that. Again, we appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a ton over here. We're gonna finish off the PGA Tour regular season in style with winners this week. Premium content. It's gonna come out tomorrow. Feel very good about this week and expect the same stuff through the playoffs. And then we have swing season, and we'll let you guys know what we're gonna do for that. Most likely condensed down to one show for the week to handle all of that, but we are obviously going to have all of the standard content for all of you. So with that, I'm AP, Snyder, Hoop, Simon, get us out of here.